What is up? Welcome back to the Lightspeed Social Agency YouTube channel. I am Cody Owen, your host. As always, I want to talk to you about our secret sauce for hiring in the lawn care and landscaping industry. This is going to help you get 4.5 times more applicants, target specific skills and experience, and reach far more candidates more quickly. So I'm going to be talking to you today about using Indeed's sponsored jobs. This is not presented by Indeed. They did not send me a check via carrier pigeon or anything like that. I am telling you about this because it works. This is how we are seeing success with our clients. I want to walk you through exactly what I'm doing so that if you want to DIY this, you can. If you want to hire somebody to handle this for you, that is also available with Lightspeed. The first thing I have to convince you of is that you need to spend money on the job platforms to get your job posting in front of more people. Organic posting is not the way to do this. That's the way to get 2 to 3 applicants a week. I want you to get 50, 60, 70 applicants in a week so that you can filter through the absolute best and get the cream that rises to the top. Let's dive in and look at what we need to do in Indeed. Many times when I push lawn care and landscaping business owners to start sponsoring job posts on Indeed, I get pushback just in the, we don't really have the budget for that. We don't want to spend, we want to just do organic posts. And I am here to tell you that you have to spend money to make money. No one wants to hear that, right? But we all know that it is true. You have to put your marketing hat on. You have to put your sales hat on for hiring and recruiting. We are still in an employee market. And I think even if we were in a market that favored business owners more, you would still want to be spending money to get the best possible applicants in the door. And the only way you're going to do that is if you are paying the job platforms to get your job posting in front of more people and getting the ability on Indeed to invite people to apply, to look through the people who hit your keywords and then invite them to apply. It's going to be really powerful, help you get more applications in the door. This is so valuable, and the speed that it gives you, where if you're able to get 50, 60 applications in 2 days versus 1 to 2 a week, and then neither of those people work out, or one looks good and then doesn't show up to the interview, all of those pain points. If you're getting more people in the door, then your 1% success rate suddenly becomes that you've got an employee now, instead of we've got 30 more weeks before we're going to find a good employee. So this is super important for your business. This is, you need to cut from the budget somewhere else to allow for spend here. This is the only way that you're going to be able to scale and hire the team that you need to grow the business. So let's dive into the job description here. We want to put our marketing hat on. We want to put our sales hat on as we're thinking through this, because 99% of lawn care job descriptions are one of two things. They are either a Dear John letter, list of every way an employee has hurt the business owner in the past, or they're just a bare bones list of, you need to be able to do these things, the pay is this much, don't call my phone, apply online. So we want to sell ourselves to prospective employees. We want to think about prospective employees in a similar way to the way that we think about prospective clients. And if you've watched any of our other marketing content talking about, getting leads in the door, then you know that we talk about, kind of figuring out who your ideal client is. And it's really helpful to do the exact same thing for employees. So if you think right now, who is your best employee? I feel really confident that you have a specific person in mind who is a workhorse. They don't cause problems. They don't complain. They get things done. When they come to you with a problem, this is a serious thing and that you should listen and take care of it. What if I told you there was a way to get 5 more of Joe, to get 10 more of Joe? Getting enough applicants in the door and writing your job description to Joe is going to be the best way to find people like him. So both factors here that we're talking about that are key are, you have to spend money to get more applications in the door so that your field is broader. And then you also need to be writing your job description in a way that if Joe read it, he would think, man, I should apply for that job. It needs to be focused on the things that he cares about. If you want people who are more stable, who aren't going to move away or pursue a different job in 6 months, you probably need to appeal to people that have a family. And that's going to mean there need to be some kind of benefits. There needs to be PTO. People who have kids usually like to see them at some point, maybe take them on a trip, so it's more than just the money, right? There have to be benefits there that do cost money. There have to be benefits behind this job that's going to attract Joe. And, we want to find people like Joe. Joe might be the, extraordinary employee who goes 120%. We want to find people like him who are at least giving 100%, 110%. So you need to write a compelling marketing description. And that's going to lead into some discussion of copywriting here. And hopefully you will bear with me as we go through this because this is so, so powerful. You need to write a job description that is focused on emotion and benefits rather than, being dry and boring and just focused on the features. And what I mean by benefits versus features, you see this a lot when you're selling a product, right? If you see a product and they just give you the specs, right? Just the facts, ma'am, down the list, dragnet style, it's these dimensions, it does these 3 things. That is a list of features. What we want is a list of benefits. When you see a razor package, for example, and it says, extra smooth because of the 5 blades. I know that's not great copy, but just bear with me for the example. It's selling that you're going to get a result, an extra smooth shave that's going to make you feel, as manly as the guy on the package, right? So, but then it's telling you why. Right? So the feature is that it has 5 blades. The benefit is the extra smooth shave that you're going to get from it. So we want to structure any bullet pointed lists in our job description in that same way. We want to lead with the extra smooth, lead with the benefit, and then explain it with the feature. And this goes back to a core thing in marketing, in the base psychology of why people buy things, why people choose certain experiences. And so it's super important to wrap your brain around this and apply it to hiring. You want people to want to work for your company because of a feeling. They are looking at this job description. They're looking at the photos. We're going to talk about that in a second. And they're saying, man, that looks like a fantastic place to work. I want to be a part of that. And then you're going to give them the logical reasons to justify the decision they've already made to apply. People buy with emotion and then they justify with logic. So remember that as you are writing your job descriptions, that you need to help them make the decision based on emotion and then justify it with logic. Come in with your benefits and then show them the features that are underlying the benefits. So if you are a pay-for-performance shop, you need to have that in the job description. It is such a beatdown. Every job I have had as a laborer of any kind, I worked in restaurants for years. I mostly just restaurant jobs. Every job that I've ever had, working in restaurants, whatever, you were always punished for being faster, being more efficient. And what I mean by this, if you have not been in this position yourself, is if I roll silverware faster than the other people I work with, I get given more silverware to roll. You're going to fill this time with labor, regardless of if you are twice as productive as the other person. You're not going to get paid more. Hell no, they're not going to part with another $1. They're going to make you do more work for the same amount of money as the person next to you. And there is nothing more demoralizing than being punished for being good at your job, right? So if you are operating a pay-for-performance business, you have an amazing benefit to sell potential employees, right? Every other place you've worked has punished you for being faster, for being better, for working smarter. We do not. We pay you more because you are better, faster, smarter. We are not the kind of place that rewards mediocrity. We reward excellence. And what that tells people, when you then explain logically how pay for performance works, so you've got your headline of, we reward excellence, we don't punish you for being faster, better, smarter. Then what you get to do is the only people who are going to opt into applying at that point, when they see that, are people who are interested in that system, who are already buying in to the emotion and the logic of that system. And so people who are like, I want to coast, I want to be mediocre, they're not going to apply, right? So some of them might still decide to come in and see how it goes. But anyone who's to an extreme of mediocrity is not going to apply to a pay for performance shop if it's explained to them that way. They want to go work somewhere else. We talked about this a ton in my interview with Martha Woodward. She is a pay for performance expert. I will link the video up top here. All of that said, I wanted to give you a deep dive example of a benefit that we can really sell to employees so that you can show them what your company is about. The next thing that you need to think about is showcasing your culture. And the reason that this is so important, especially if you have, a really good culture, I want you to do this through the photos that you're able to have on the job post. So you have like one normal in the field shot of guys on a crew working together. If people are smiling, that's great. If not, that's fine too. We just want to give them a real world image they can kind of imagine themselves into of doing the actual work of the job. But then I want your other two photos to be like a company party, people in the office. Definitely we want smiles in these. We want people to look happy. We want there to be a community that they can imagine themselves becoming a part of. And this sounds hokey and silly. And I know that some of the people watching this are like, yeah. I'm here to clock in and clock out. And that's what I want my guys to do. And that's not how you get buy-in that lasts for a long time. That's not how you get people who stay for years and years. That's not how you get more Joes, right? Every Joe is not going to be satisfied with that. So you want to showcase your culture and show how you're different from the place they're currently working. Because you've probably heard this adage a million times that people don't quit jobs, they quit managers. And so think about what someone is feeling that they're looking for a new job. They're either feeling the pinch of needing to be paid more. Maybe they've had some unexpected expenses, or they're just not satisfied with their lifestyle with the job that they currently have. Or they're having a really big pain point with a manager, and it could be them, they could be the problem, but many times the problem is, especially for good employees who are going to come in and interview well and be a good employee, the problem is with the manager. And so you want to lean into that pain point and show them, hey, we're different. We reward excellence. We treat each other well. This is a place to come in and do your job, and we take care of each other. Really sell how you're different than the place that they want to leave. Think about the pain points that have caused you to leave jobs in the past and the ways that you've set up your shop to be different than that. Hey, if this is the kind of stuff that you know that you need to grow your company, if you are struggling with hiring and this has been helpful, please make sure that you like the video and subscribe. It helps us reach more people, more business owners with this great information. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, jumping in to our last section here, I want to talk to you about sponsoring the post. This is the ultimate hack for using Indeed. When I figured this out basically by accident, I was like, oh my gosh, this is an incredible loophole. So the default settings in Indeed when you go to sponsor a job is like, it's going to send you an unlimited number of applicants at whatever the price is until you close the job. So I usually see this in like suburban markets going for like $50 to $65 an applicant. But here is the secret. You have 72 hours to reject and replace anyone who applies for your job on Indeed. So you invite 100 people who match your keywords, and then you get, usually overnight, about 20 applicants. What you do, and this is super important, I set multiple reminders on my phone to make sure this doesn't slip my mind and that I don't accidentally get somebody's credit card charged for hundreds of dollars over their budget. You make sure you go in, you have 72 hours to reject and replace. So you go through and you pick the people who, according to your budget, the 3 or 4, however many it is that you're going to keep on to contact for an interview. You're going to keep them in, you're going to reject everyone else, and then you're going to pause the job. So what this does is you've rejected those applicants that you got to review their resume and you were like, no, I want these, top tier people. I'm rejecting all of these others. And what this does is then you've paused the job. They don't get replaced. You do not get charged for them. And this is just like chef's kiss, perfect. You get to review hundreds of applications, but only pay for the people you actually want to contact. This is not how Indeed is set up. This is actually something one of their support people walked me through when a setting was wrong on a job posting. And I really thought that we were about to have to fight an $1,100 charge because Indeed was having some issues that day and the settings that I put in did not save. I was getting like 403 errors repeatedly. And then they wanted to charge my client $1,100 for the job posting. So their support walked me through how to do this. And I realized I can do this every time. So we just want to make sure that if anything ever changes, obviously we'll update you on that. But if this video is still here and you are still hearing the sounds of my voice right now, this still works. This is why monitoring the post is so crucial. If you forget about this and you just let it run, they will take, an untold amount of money from you. So you want to make sure that you're monitoring, you're getting the cream of the crop, you're reaching out for interviews, and you can do this every single day with different job postings. Create a copy of the last posting. Do it again, pay for your 3 to 4 candidates and reject the rest. But this is going to really help you dial in what works, what gets people in the door, what gets good employees in the door. And remember, write everything to your Joe, whoever your best employee is. Write everything like you're trying to convince Joe to stay with the company, right? Joe just told you he got a better offer. What are you writing down to keep Joe? All right. So if you have heard all of this and you're like, oh, that is fantastic, but I don't really have time to manage it. Here at Lightspeed Social Agency, we are happy to manage that for you. Our rates are super affordable for running Indeed hiring posts, doing the sponsored jobs for you, and doing that initial screening level where we do the automated phone interview. And then I personally review each candidate who comes in the door. And I cannot tell you how many people I have had just like blatantly disqualify themselves during that automated phone interview. So it is really helpful to winnow it down. I do that method of getting, 20, 30 applications, review all of them, eliminate all but the very best to keep you on budget. So if you need help with that, reach out to us. We would be more than happy to get you on board with us. If you have watched to this point in the video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like, made sure that you're subscribed or that you clicked the bell if you're already subscribed, and let me know your best hiring tips in the comments. It would really, really help me out. All right, I will talk to you guys in the next video.